then that's positive sign, and that's for rotator cuff pathology.
Can you say that again? What does the positive sign mean?
So if she has to drop her arm, so if she can't slowly return it, nice and gradual, and she just has to like drop it, then that's a positive sign.
What's it for?
Rotator cuff pathology. Okay. Everyone clear with that one? So the next one we're going to have her do, we're going to have her stand up again. And her arm's going to come up. She's going to be abducted, okay? And then she's going to be about 30 degrees horizontal adduction, okay?
Is this the same
This is a different test.
Open can.
And this is empty can.
Oh.
Empty can, okay? And this is considered the scapular plane, so if that's what you want to remember it. But
30 degrees.
30 degrees of horizontal adduction. So 90 degrees abduction, 30 degrees horizontal adduction, okay? And then we're doing thumbs down or palms back, however you want to think about it. Okay? And then she's just going to resist me as I push down, okay? So I want to try and get the best leverage, so I'm not going to push up here. I'm push down at her wrist, and I'm just going to push down. Okay? So the right one's a little bit weaker than the left. So we look for weakness. We also look for pain. Okay? Is it painful?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay? So weakness and pain are the two positive signs. And that again is for rotator cuff, specifically for the supraspinatus.
Ha.
Supraspinatus.
I know I'm jumping ahead of everything, but this is like the second time I heard about this. In the gym today, somebody was just like doing bulky things and cold cans, like the workouts and stuff. So that would we just do this and you just lifting up like weights or something?
Yeah, yep. So it's people do them with bands or they'll do them with dumbbells, and they just do open can and closed. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Open can is
or you just straight up?
well, you want to be. This is scapular plane, so we're going to test everything in scapular plane. It's going to give us the best anatomical position. People don't necessarily think about that when they're working out, but if you are working out, you want it in the 30 degrees, roughly 30 degrees horizontally adducted.
Yeah, no, I mean, like standing straight up like this.
You can do them in all sorts of different positions.
So if I have a theory that's what I have messed up out of 1,000 things, should I do that to work it out?
You can try and strengthen it. A lot of times a treatment for rotator cuff, they're going to try conservative treatment, which is going to be scap stabilizations, and then slowly progress you back into activity. So if we're doing a baseball player, we're basically going to put them at no weight, and then we're going to start them at 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound dumbbells, doing scap stabilization exercises, stuff like that, and then we're going to get them into a throwing program, okay? That's kind of how that progression is going to go. So kind of conservative treatment for just general populations, they have them do PT, conservative treatment. If conservative treatment doesn't work, they go in and try and clean out an area, look for a labral tear or a rotator cuff tear of some sort. And then they can do MRIs and stuff too. Okay? But as far as the special test goes, you're looking for pain or weakness. That's positive for rotator cuff pathology, specifically supraspinatus. Okay? So the next one we're going to do is she's going to be sitting.
Rotator cuff. Is this a weakness or tear or what? Something's going on in the rotator cuff in the supraspinatus?
In the supraspinatus, yeah, specifically.
Tear.
So that's when you would refer to see, they may do an MRI, they may not. They may say just conservative treatment, they may not. Okay? And I'm actually going to have you sit down with Robbie so everyone can see.
What is this one called?
This one's called Gerber, as in like Gerber. No, you're going to sit up, but you're just going to have your feet hanging up. So your back is facing up. There you go. So it's called Gerber lift-off. Okay? Gerber lift-off. So what I'm going to have her do is I'm going to have her place her hand, her right hand, on the small of her back. Everyone know what the small of your back is? Your lower back? Okay? So I'm having her place her hand there. Now what I'm going to have her do is I'm going to have her push out towards my finger. So push her palm out towards my finger. There you go. Okay? Now she's going to hold that there, and I'm going to try and push her back in. Alright? So you hold it on and push her back in. Good. And now let's test the other side. So check bilaterally, because if we're looking for weakness, we have to decide, well, is it weak? How do we know if it's weak? We compare it bilaterally. Okay? Don't want to push it. So you're equal, you're about equal bilaterally. So she was her test was negative, okay? But what positive would be is A, if they can't even lift it off, okay? Or B, they lift it off but they can't resist you and they have pain that'll be associated with that. Those are the positive tests, Okay? And that's positive again for rotator cuff pathology, but this time we're looking at more the subscapularis. Okay? Subscap as compared to supraspinatus. Alright? Okay. And then the last one we're going to go over for now is we're going to go over a wall push-up. Okay? So Matt is going to come stand over here. Alright, so I'm going to have her stand with just her feet basically right at the base of these tables here. And you're gonna put your hands on the wall. And then squeeze your feet back just a little. Okay. So our arms are straight, and then bring your hands down. Okay? Arms straight. What we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the scapulas, okay? So typically if you're doing it on a guy, you'll have him with the shirt off. If you're doing it on a female, you'll have him just like a sports bra. So you can see the scapulas. And what we're going to have her do is we're just going to have her not necessarily do a full push-up, but just, it's called protraction, retraction, okay? So we're going to have her protract and retract. Does that make sense? You know what that means? Okay. Yep. Yep. That's fine. You don't need to go far. What we're looking at is we're looking at the scapulas. We're looking for what's called scapular winging. Has everyone heard of that? So one scapula will pretty much stick out like this, and the other one will be flat. So I'll try and show you. So one would be sticking out like this, and the other one would be flat. Okay, this is a gross exaggeration, but just so you guys get the idea. And it'll be sticking out. What that means is that's the positive sign for a wall push-up, okay? Scapular winging. And that's positive for long thoracic nerve damage. Long thoracic nerve damage. Okay?
Long thoracic.
Long thoracic nerve damage.
What about the serratus anterior?
So that's exactly what that is. The long thoracic nerve innervates the serratus anterior, which is what's going to help prevent the scapula from winging. Okay?
So is it strengthening? Because I think
Well, if you have nerve damage, you can strengthen all you want, but it's the nerve that's the problem, not the muscle.
So,
Yep, because you've got one of the muscles that's essentially going to be completely weak because there's nerve damage. The nerve that innervates the muscle is damaged, so that muscle just can't be as strong as the other side.
But is it always nerve damage?
Yeah.
Maybe have it on both sides.
Yeah.
That's just.
If you have it on both sides, then it may be bilateral, or then you may be thinking about more scapular stability and working that route. But definitely if it's one side, you're thinking more long thoracic nerve. Okay?
Is that the same thing as when you're doing a push-up with a plus? Is that the
Yeah,
same?
that's essentially the same thing. You push up and then you go straight.
Okay.
So
So
that's the
that-
protraction.
So you can strengthen your serratus anterior, but that still won't take away necessarily the winged scapula.
Correct, yeah.
Is there a test for your reach back? You have it?
That was the lift up. That's just
I don't know if I do. Okay.
Well, it could be because you just have a new flexible.
Alright. So let's practice the drop arm, the Gerber lift up, the empty can, and then the wall push up.